Hello, everybody. We have Rufus here to discuss the Second Amendment ASICs and the coming crackdown on ASICs. A little bit of background. Rufus is the former Chief Risk Management Officer at a Chinese investment bank. Discovering Ethereum in 2015, Rufus immediately realizing the value of GPU mining and the potential applications of commodity hardware-driven proof-of-work mining. In 2016, Rufus moved back to America to focus on GPU mining, and in December of 2016, he decided to found Crypto Caverns. Since then, he has grown the company from a single setup in Connecticut to now having operations in 5 countries across 3 continents. Welcome, Rufus.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Our company is a GPU mining company. As stated, I think we're the only GPU mining company here. So they couldn't put me on a panel, and I decided to do this. Without further ado, let's see here. To preserve liberty, it is essential that the whole body of the people always possess arms. The people in this room The people in this room today will shape the future of crypto more than anyone on earth. The projects that you invest in, the chains that you mine, the infrastructure you build, and the policies that you support will shape the future of cryptocurrencies for generations to come. I'm not here today to pitch a product or talk about our company's latest technologies. I'm here today to warn you about the dangers of complacency. Restricting access to the tools required to make a firearm is the key to restricting access to firearms. In the same way, restricting access to mining is the key to restricting access to crypto. So what do guns and crypto have in common? They both give people power. Throughout history, governments have held 2 monopolies: a monopoly on violence and a monopoly on currency creation. Today, between China and India, almost half the world's population has been shut out of the mining market. And America has become a global leader in the industry. This means that to this date, the people in this room have actually been the largest beneficiaries of crypto mining regulation. However, if history tells us anything, it is that America will not wait long to start regulating anything that it controls. Proof-of-work mining is the only thing that directly connects the physical world to crypto without the need for a trusted third party. Proof-of-work mining was the first technology that ever truly took the tools of currency creation out of the hands of governments. Governments would love it if all coins were pieces of shit. I mean, proof of stake, the other POS. The reason is that governments would then just have to restrict access to on-ramps and off-ramps. If you've ever tried to do a large crypto to fiat transaction without doing KYC, you know exactly how good governments are at restricting those on-ramps and off-ramps. But has anyone ever had to do any KYC to buy a mining rig? Or better yet, a GPU? I think implementing that would shut down a country's entire economy. So I know that many of you may say that America is not going to regulate mining anytime soon. And some of you might even be saying that a little bit of regulation would be good. I'm sure that these are the same things that were said by American privateers after the Revolution when discussing the Second Amendment. But try and buy a battleship today and see what happens. My point isn't that America is going to ban mining. My point is that regulations are coming. What those regulations will look like is going to be up to all of us. But let me paint a picture for you on how I see it going. It's going to start with firmware built into an Intel chip that locks them into Intel pools. This allows Intel to drop the price of their miners to zero, just like cell phone companies do today. These pools will be running a blacklist of known North Korean scam addresses in order to keep Intel compliant with US sanctions. Gradually, this type of built-in censorship will become industry standard in US ASICs. And eventually, all ASICs may be required to run this in the US. The blacklist, of course, will have to be expanded to include new addresses as they are identified. And we might have to throw in some new individuals and countries to boot. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The point isn't that Intel is bad. It might not even be Intel, but some Elon Musk anti-mining legislation designed to keep electricity in your car and out of your wallet. Anyways, the point is that companies love regulations that harm their competitors. Here's what really worries me. If 25 to 30% of the global hash rate is performing a censorship attack like what I just mentioned, this becomes extremely effective. Now, if the US government realizes that they can effectively cut entire countries out of the Bitcoin network, does anyone think that they'll say, that's too much power for us to have? When we design cryptocurrencies, we must design them to withstand the worst case scenarios. To say we shouldn't worry about it because governments aren't going to weaponize crypto is delusional. Governments already are worrying about this, and banning it is their way of attempting to defend themselves from others who will weaponize crypto. When a foreign government restricts their citizens' access to crypto, it causes the entire industry harm and damages the industry for generations to come. If we truly believe crypto will change the world for the better, we must lobby against these bans. After all, we know many of these bans are affecting the exact people who would benefit the most from access to crypto. So what do we do about it? What is the solution? The solution is a multi-coin, multi-protocol world. The solution is innovation. I know that many of you in this room believe that a one-coin future is what you see. But I'm here today to say a one-coin future is a threat to us all. A single coin, a single protocol, a single algorithm, that's what governments want. That's easy to control. If each of you dedicated 2% of your mining facilities to speculative mining in projects that you believe have potential, if each of you dedicated 2% of your profits to developing new protocols, projects, algorithms, and coins, If each of you dedicated 2% of your time to educating the next generation about why proof of work mining is so important, and if each of you dedicated 2% of your earnings to organizations like the Bitcoin Policy Institute, who are fighting against regulation today in the mining industry in America, I will guarantee you that in the long run, these investments will dramatically increase your returns. And more importantly, they will build a better tomorrow for everyone. Now that said, that's not financial advice. I know the contract on the said I couldn't give financial advice. Remember, what makes crypto great isn't its implications for oil fields in southern Pennsylvania, or how well it acts as a hedge against inflation. What makes crypto great is that it gives power to the people, it gives everyone on earth financial liberty, and takes power away from governments. Crypto has a huge potential to preserve and spread liberty throughout the world. And mining is the only way to directly interact with it. But just as Richard Henry Lee said in The Federal Farmer, to preserve liberty, it is essential that the whole body of people always possess arms. So too, it is essential to preserve crypto that the whole body of people always possess mining rigs.